that focused on creating learning material standards that would exceed the expectations of educators and learners.
My fourth book is officially up, so please check it out. Link is in the description below. This is a collection, again, of short stories and poems, and this one is more tied to the theme of psychological thriller. So if you're a fan of those, you'll like my books. See you all next time.
So I thought I would try something a little bit different. For those of you who obviously seen my channel, I like to direct movies. I like writing, not just films, but novels, short stories, and even poetry. But one of the things I like to do, and some may not know as much, because I'll be honest, this is a passion that has not really... It's kind of always been there, but I've never really took this passion that much seriously I'd say over the last, 2-3 years, it's actually started to manifest, which is acting. And I actually thought about wanting to be an actor and for the past couple of years, and I thought for fun I would take scripts, whether it's a film script or not just scripts, but things that I would do as an actor, so films, TVs, plays, whatever, and just kind of say, okay, if I did this, what would I do? And I thought I would try that, and I thought something that would be fun to do first would be the Dark Knight Trilogy by Christopher Nolan. The screenplay is written by him, David Goyer, and David S. Goyer, and Jonathan Nolan. I bought this a long time ago, back when I was in high school, back when I was just studying film and script formats, and I was just curious to see what was the difference between script and screen. I bought this thing, and it has the entire trilogy, as you can see on the back. The entire trilogy of films in one large book. It's 1,000 pages, something like that. No, not even, sorry. It's 600. Sorry. An exaggeration there. But yeah, I thought I would do this and just kind of say, if I was an actor, what would I do if I was? And I thought that would be kind of fun to just kind of look at things day by day and just kind of have it also be a series in parts. I feel like I wouldn't just do this in one go, because I feel like if I was an actor and if I was someone who was in movies and got a role, I feel like I would do this anyway on YouTube to kind of help promote the movie in some way. So yeah, here we go. Hope you guys like this. So first one is going to be the Dark Knight Trilogy. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Alright, so now the script has been read for Batman Begins. Really good script, actually. Film aside, it's actually a really great script and a really fascinating read. It's actually quite the page turner, to be honest. So obviously, after you do a script, the next step is to research. So the research in this case would obviously be reading a lot of Batman comics. More specifically, I would read comic books like the origin ones. So Batman Year 1, Batman Year 0, a lot of the origin-based Batman comics, and see if I can somehow also research the Batman character himself, his history in terms of how he also evolved with time, but what were his inspirations? What other things inspired him? And I did do research on that, and it was Zorro and the Shadow. Very similar to Batman, both of these characters are rich people who have an alter ego that helps people. There is that. So, a lot of research like that. And I found this documentary, actually, on YouTube. I highly recommend checking it out, called The Psychology of the Dark Knight. Basically, what the documentary does is it takes Batman and reacts to him as if he's a real person, and it talks to many different psychologists, comic book writers, Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale, and how Batman, as if he was a real person, what's his psychology, what's his mentality, what's his, Why does he think? How does he think? Why does he do the things he does? You know, what motivates him, that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of research I would do. I know there's countless of Batman lore and comics and TV shows and all that, of course, but I would specifically just would focus on comic books, specifically on his origins, because again, this is Batman Begins, so he's beginning. And just look at comics just generally that he hasn't done that much so far. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. And I'll see you all in the next part of this series. I am not a dietitian or a fitness instructor or fitness trainer of any kind. This is just something I decided to do for fun, as if I was an actor who was asked to play the role of Batman / Bruce Wayne, and this is how I would exercise, and this is how I would eat to kind of build as much muscle as possible for the role, obviously, because Batman's a superhero. So yeah, I just thought I'd let everybody know. So just again, I'll mention this again throughout the video, but just again, this is just for fun. I'm not a dietitian telling you this is how you have to eat, this is how you have to exercise. It's just something I just did for fun. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and hope you enjoyed the video coming up real soon. See you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I thought I would put this into a separate video. I was originally going to put it with another part that I'll do later for this, but I thought I'd dedicate an entire video to this, because just in case you guys are curious and just in case you guys wanted to try out the workout plan that I'm about to put here. And again, this is not... I want to make some things clear. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a fitness instructor in any way. I'm not a dietitian or anything like that. This is just like me just doing this for fun and just kind of seeing like how I think Batman would exercise. You know, how if I did the role, what would I exercise? How would I exercise? How would I eat? That kind of stuff. So I'm not a personal trainer. Take this information as you will, however you like. But this is what I think would happen. So one thing I feel like is made obviously clear from Batman is this is a man who's clearly very angry at the world, very angry at himself, and just generally a very angry person who takes out his anger on the things he does, specifically when he's Batman, because he unleashes all his anger in a way he says normal on himself in the suit. So obviously when he fights crime, when he hits criminals and beats them up, he takes out his anger. His workout routine, I feel like, would be the same. It would be a very angry workout routine. It would not be a very, like, you know, day 1 arms, day 2 legs, day 3 shoulders, or anything like that. It would be... I feel like his workout routine would be very full body every day. So arms, legs, shoulders, whatever. He would exercise his full body every day and do a different variation of a full body workout routine. Whether it's a circuit, whether it's... you know, just lifting weights full body, whether it's doing body weight exercises full body, whatever it is, he would do that. And he would exercise every day. I feel like there would be no rests. By the way, when this is all over at the very end, I'll put like statistics and all that stuff at the end, like kind of like, hey, how often you should exercise, what you should do on each day, that kind of stuff. If you guys want a more clear picture. So anyway, and it would be a lot of like fight movements, like exercises, if that makes any sense. So an obvious thing is he would do a lot of martial arts and fight training kind of stuff. So he would hit punching bags, he would do shadow box, and or even grab dumbbells and do like dumbbell punches. You know, he. But what I mean by fighting movements is, for example, he wouldn't just do, like, for example, like a simple bench press. I think he would do, for example, alternate dumbbell curls, so but like 1, 2. So it's like, you know, it's like when he's doing the dumbbell chest exercise, he's kind of like punching when he's alternating, and same with shoulders, and same with bent over rows, that kind of stuff. And he wouldn't do like the bent over row like the one arm. I think he would do alternate arms, so bend over and then like punch as if he's punching the ground. I feel like that's how his workout routine would be. Cardio, I think he would do cardio, obviously, like much more fighting based, so shadow boxing, punching bags, that kind of stuff. I feel like he would also do, but if he wants to do cardio, he would do a lot of, like, I think, like, endurance building cardio, if that makes any sense. Like to endure stuff for long periods of time. So, because according to the Batman Year One comic, Batman is out at night from midnight to 4 a.m. So within that time spot, he would have to teach his body to endure not just fighting, but teach his body to endure that kind of physical activity, to exercise for 4 hours. So that's why I feel like he would always push and always, like, for example, what I mean is he would never have a cutoff point for exercise. So like the second he wakes up, so let's say, okay, from midnight to 4, he's Batman, and then as soon as he comes home from Batman, he goes straight to sleep, or showers and then goes to sleep, I should say. And then after he goes, and then as soon as he wakes up, he would start exercising all over again instantly. Like the scene in Batman Begins in the script when he wakes up and starts doing push-ups right out of the bed. Same thing. I think he would be doing that exactly, and I think he would not just push-ups, but like other things, or maybe like have dumbbells right next to him. But again, never a cutoff point for exercise. He wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to exercise 3 hours max. Or also a cutoff point of the amount of exercise he would do for whatever it is, like whether it's a muscle group, whether it's cardio, fight training. He wouldn't have a cutoff point either. And again, exercise every day. And I feel like diet would be the same. The diet of Batman, I feel like, would be very healthy, but it wouldn't be like nothing but protein. You know, it wouldn't be nothing but chicken and steak and fish. That wouldn't be it. I feel like it would be a very like healthy one, but if you just focus on being healthy, so no junk food, no bad foods of any kind, no alcohol, or any kind of other, or smoking or any kind of substance, obviously. And very, how do you say the words here? Very clean, but not clean in the sense of, again, pure protein. He would have carbs, he would have fruit, but just not, just not like bad stuff like chocolate and so on. So that's what I feel like how Batman would exercise and diet. And another thing I feel like I would say is, for example, he would incorporate some kind of fighting movement in the stuff he did. So even if he did do, for example, a squat, maybe he would squat, but as he came up, he would like punch forward, or for example, like knee strike as he came up. So that way, again, incorporating some kind of fighting movement to not only to build his body to be a better fighter, but I feel like to program in his head of movement. So that way, when he actually has to do this movement and when he's in a fight, it just by instinct it does it. So, for example, if he wants to kick someone forward, his body knows a front kick. Sorry, if he wants to do a front kick, his body knows what to do because by muscle memory, he forced it in his head. And I feel like that's how he would do this kind of stuff. And the way he would exercise, by the way, the mentality of Batman in the gym, like I said, it would be very angry. And it would not be a mentality of like, again, just 3 sets of 10 on arms and let's say an hour cardio and then, that's it. He would exercise insanely and very angry to the point where like he would kind of put like more pressure on himself, even stress on himself to an extent to kind of say, you have to be a physical specimen. You have to look like basically like a bodybuilder, like something like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like those bodybuilding champions, but also a physique that can do everything, or at least multiple things. Like you're not just strong, but you can barely run for like 2 minutes because you're so big. Like you're big, but you also have decent cardio, or you're fast, but you're also pretty decently strong. And of course, the suit makes him look bigger and stronger, and of course, the suit also makes him look taller. I tried to do like a research when I did my research. I searched like how tall is Batman? How is his weight usually? At least 6 feet, with the height, and the weight is at least 220 pounds. I've gone to some of the bigger heights, like taller heights, like the heights that I saw. Some were like 6'5", some were like 6'7". I think that's like including. I'm assuming that's the suit, including the suit, because obviously the boots will incline you a couple inches, and the ears and everything else on the cowl will obviously incline you make you look taller as well. So, yeah, very much that. And same with diet. I feel like diet would be very similar to working out. He would not have a calorie cutoff point either. He wouldn't force himself to eat like 10,000 calories or anything like that, something insane, but he would just be like, okay, like what do I do to get big? And obviously you eat. and lift heavy weights and that kind of stuff. And he would not have a cutoff point for eating or exercise, and that's how I personally feel like how Batman would exercise. He would exercise in the sense of wanting to achieve, basically like a martial artist more, I should say. Not really a bodybuilder to an extent for sure, but I feel like more of a martial artist where he's big, he's strong, but he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger big or The Rock big. And I feel like he would, which I know with the weight it kind of contradicts the point I just said, but he would be big, but he would be more focused on, okay, but I want to be able to run. I want to be able to also, if I have to chase someone, I can also do these incredible acrobatic things. Like, he's also a gymnastic. He's also a master of like every martial art according to the comic book. So that's what I feel like it would be like, and it wouldn't be simple. And again, it's a workout routine that I feel like would be insane, but it has to be because that's how Batman would. I feel like the way he would work out would actually also reflect how he operates when he is Batman, in the sense of very focused, very disciplined, and very tough on himself, and very angry, and not just whatever. So I think you would just put it this idea that you need to do this, like not just you want to do this, you need to do this. So yeah, that's my, again, not a personal trainer, not a dietitian or fitness instructor of any kind. This is just my thoughts from the research of reading the comics and stuff and doing research on the character. That's how I think Batman would exercise and diet. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. So on to the next bit, which is how would I actually plan to play the actual Batman role? So I'll do that workout routine that I said before, workout every day. But even if it's not lifting weights every day, it could be like someday, for example, if you're too sore to lift any kind of weights, maybe switch it to body weights, or not even body weights, maybe just go for like a long run, or maybe even a long walk, or do some sort of really long cardio on a machine. Something, to always stay fit every day. The thing about Batman is, I feel like this would be a guy who would be wrapped up in training, so fighting all the time. I would actually try to teach myself to stay up late. Like it says in the Batman Year One comic, he specifically goes out at night between the time of midnight and 4 a.m., so I feel like I would try to keep myself up during that time period, and I would also wouldn't talk very much while in the suit. The only unfortunate thing while doing this kind of hypothetical blog is I wish I could have like a Batman suit to actually put on, and a legitimate one. I'm not talking about like a costume. Like I can get a costume shop, like a legit suit that I can actually put on, and because I do generally think that once you find the costume of a character, the costume that you think is best fit for a character, it helps a lot. But I think he wouldn't talk much while in the suit. He's not like Hamlet, of course, where he has all these soliloquies and monologues about his thoughts on life. He would just be very quiet. He would just get things done. If he talked, it would be straight to the point and just something that he feels like he needs to say, not that he just wants to say it. And I feel like, as well, with Batman, there would be this sense of trying to act as inhuman as possible to give himself a more of a supernatural feel. So one thing that I do think would be a part of the costume is a digitally altered voice. I don't think Batman would try to put on a fake voice or a different voice, because that would clearly be put on. So to make it, and I also think to help himself feel more inhuman, I think he would do stuff like that. I think he would kind of take a digital voice manipulator and manipulate his voice to make it look more, feel more inhuman. Try to move as quick as possible. Like, this is kind of part of the workout too, but obviously learning how to fight, train, how to fight and train and that kind of stuff. And it's obviously not the same as someone who is a black belt, or someone like Jackie Chan and Bruce, like these guys who've trained their entire lives to be in martial arts. If I did it, but it would be like some, like get that across as best I can. As like, this is a guy who dedicated his life to knowing how to fight, to be a physical specimen, like a perfect physical example of what the human body can achieve, through the fight training and through their training in general. He would also, in the suit, crouch a lot. Again, try to move a little inhuman. Try not to move hit like a normal person as much. I think the thing of the Michael Keaton thing of him just abruptly turning without turning his head, I think that would be a part of it too, to an extent, because it's a part of it's a part of trying to him look more inhuman. He would avoid blinking as much as he could. And I also want to say that I feel like with Batman as well, look angry all the time, which probably kind of goes without saying, but I feel like you have to kind of look angry all the time and never smile in the suit. And if I wore one of those suits, I'm going to be honest, I would feel like I'm 5 years old, so probably couldn't help but smile, but I would try my best not to smile and try to be like angry and intimidating as I could, because again, Batman is not a superhero like Spider-Man or Zorro, where he tries to smile and look happy. He's about fear, and he's about imposing fear on enemies, so he would do a lot of stuff like that. I think that's how I would play the Batman part. Now, very soon there's going to be another video on my channel talking about how to play the Bruce Wayne role as well, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Okay, so how to play the Bruce Wayne role. Well, firstly, I feel like the more obvious thing would be that I feel like there's two parts to playing Bruce Wayne. The one part of Bruce Wayne is the normal part. So when he interacts with Alfred, when he's alone in his house, that kind of stuff. I feel like that Bruce would be very intelligent and very self-assured and confident and that kind of stuff. But very kind of closed and kind of cold person. Again, still a very angry person and still always a man of focus, similar to Batman when he's out of the mask, of course, but just not in the suit. And also very, again, mainly a man of focus and discipline. And he would say, I got, as Bruce Wayne right now, I got to, let's say, I don't know, go to this business meeting. Okay, I'll research all the people who I'm doing business with. What are the, are they good people to do business with? What is the deal we're doing? What kind of business, that kind of stuff. He'd be always very focused and in the present moment of that situation. As Bruce Wayne, the public persona, by the way, I just always say play that side of Bruce Wayne, one last thing, is as very honest. If you feel like there is something you want to say or do it, because that's the honest side of Bruce. And you can make the argument that the honest side of Bruce is Batman, which I do agree, but at the same time I feel like without the mask, just looking at the Batman acting role and the Batman, the Bruce Wayne persona, and the core of his identity obviously is Bruce, it's not Batman, so I feel like there would be, that's his honest side, that's him being exactly who he is. But the public persona of Bruce, specifically the ideal kind of persona that people think Bruce acts like, and I want to say this: the buffoon, party animal, rich, spoiled brat persona that he puts on, I feel like it would come across very playful and kind of, I don't want to say the word put on, but I feel like it would come across as a bit uncomfortable. Not for the person experiencing it, but you can see it on the face of Bruce that he's kind of uncomfortable in his own skin, and this is not really him. And this party animal is kind of like this him acting like a person. Him acting like you know, this guy who, this is not him. Partying is not him. You know, constantly going out with women and buying all these expensive things. It's not him. You know, Batman's him, and you know, being focused on wanting to help people and stop crime. That's Bruce. You know, this party stuff is not. Also, when I feel like the main way Bruce would approach this persona would be like not necessarily the way people think Bruce Wayne would act, the way people think someone who was rich, specifically a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, would act. So I feel like he would specifically, I don't want to say the word self-sabotage or anything like that, but he would do stuff to make himself look embarrassing, to make himself look awkward and that kind of stuff in public, to kind of get people across like that this is a spoiled brat who's very rich, living off his parents' money and just doing whatever he wants. And he wouldn't have the kind of persona of that, if that makes any sense. Like, it wouldn't be a very it would feel, again, kind of put on, but again, people don't really recognize that because I think they don't, not that they don't exactly want to see it, that they expect it. So I feel like that's one of Bruce's advantages, but at the same time it would come across as a little bit awkward and kind of uncomfortable for Bruce because, again, this is not who he is. And from a dress perspective and that kind of stuff, I feel like it would also be also a very playful personality, adventurous personality, flirtatious to an extent. But in terms of costumes and that kind of stuff, it's like how you have a costume with Batman, you have a costume with Bruce Wayne, and one of those costumes I feel like would obviously be having the most expensive clothes, the best looking clothes. Like, Bruce would not dress in sweatpants and jeans going out in public. He would dress in these very beautiful, high class suits and high class clothes and coats and everything. Like, even if it was something casual, like if he just went to on a random date to a diner, he wouldn't wear, I'll wear something more relaxed, I'll wear casual pants. He would still wear like a suit that's clearly worth thousands of dollars, just not just to impress the girl that he's with, again, to give up this persona that he's doing this to impress girls, but to also kind of say, like, this is a guy who does not let up, and in a way he's kind of showing off his money. And again, in that, spoiled brat mentality of like, hey, I have to purposely do these things to make people throw people off. So he would obviously drive the most expensive cars, he would drive a bit recklessly, he would do these really kind of cliche things, and he would playfully, I think, act like a buffoon, not when he's on dates, but kind of to other people, but not to the point where he damages himself, if that makes any sense, to the point where he self-sabotages just himself, though. Like, not self-sabotages and brings everybody down. Like, he tries to make the company look bad, he tries to make Alfred or everyone else. It just be like to the point where he self-sabotages himself to an extent that people think this is all he is. Yeah, so that's how I feel like I would personally approach this role. And I want to say this segment, this specific version of this segment of what would it be like if I played Batman and Bruce Wayne. I'm finished. I would obviously do more if I was actually asked to play Batman in Batman Begins in the Dark Knight Trilogy. Not just trilogy, but in Batman, specifically in a Batman film. I would keep going, obviously, like I do with my own movies. I would do regular updates. I would even show, if I was allowed, not stuff from set, but I'd say, hey, first day of filming is done, second day of filming, and so on and so forth. So that I would do that kind of stuff to kind of help give the movie momentum and help give the film more attention, and publicity, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Mention really quick right before I start this video, I am not a personal trainer, I am not a nutritionist or dietitian. This is just something that I thought I would do for fun, as if I was an actor who was offered this part, like I said in the other videos. And furthermore, I want to say this. This is something that I personally enjoy doing in fitness and exercise, and again, not a doctor or nutritionist or anything like that, so use this information in any way you please. Right, now, let's start with the video. Okay, everyone, so, So I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit. The workout for Macbeth and the play will come out very soon. But I want to specifically talk about now is the Batman workout video that I did. Consider this kind of a re-upload slash remake of that video, because what I'm going to do is basically kind of discuss the workout like I said, but I'm also going to actually show you it. I thought it would be like just more convenient for you guys if you guys just like a blueprint or an idea of me just discussing it, but I thought, maybe me actually showing you the workout movements that I feel like I would do if I was cast to play Batman, and an actual Batman style workout routine, and try my best to do it. That's what I feel like I would. That's what I feel like I would. I feel like it's best to show you instead of just explaining it. So, I'm going to do this video in 2 sections. It's going to be all in one video, but it's going to be 2 sections. The first part is going to be the workout, and the second part is going to be the diet. Now, something else I want to say before I start. If you notice inconsistency in terms of clothes, in terms of like anything else, like even the cameras that are used, that is because I'm just filming with multiple different things, and I'm filming and multiple different locations and times. I'm just going to do it. By the way, I'm also doing this for just one day. I'm not going to do this for like 3 months and then show you results or anything like that. I'm just going to do it for a day and just kind of show you this is what I would do if I was asked to play the part. So, before I start with the workout, I said this, that I feel like the way Batman would exercise would be the exact same way he feels, well, slash Bruce Wayne, is the exact same he feels when he's Batman. He's very angry, and he's very enraged, and takes out that rage on criminals. And I feel like the way he exercises would be exactly the same. He would exercise very angry, very aggressively, and very no holds barred, or no holding back, so it would not be a typical workout of like let's say arm day, chest day, back day, that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be anything like that. It would be something a lot more intense. For example, I think it would always be full body. I think Batman would not decide like one day shoulders, like arms, like I said. It would be in his whole body every day. And it would try to incorporate some kind of fight movement in the workout. So for example, if he squatted and he would like as he came up, he would kick, or if he did planks, he would do plank punches, for example. For cardio, yeah, he would go on bikes and treadmills, but he would also, do a lot of fight training, of course, because Batman is an expert martial artist as well. So hitting punching bags, shadow boxing, jump rope out, all that kind of stuff. I want to also mention this right before I start the workout routine, and also the diet, by the way. The workouts and the diet, I want to say as well, there would be no cutoff point for everything, for anything. So, for example, it wouldn't be like, okay, 2 hours in the gym and then eat the rest of the day to build as much mass as possible. It wouldn't be anything like that. It would be no cutoff point for exercise. So maybe in total he exercised 3-4 hours one day, and then maybe the next day you exercised only 1 or 2. Because that's maybe all the time like he had maybe one day or the other. And in terms of diet, it would be the same. It would be incredibly, like, the cleanest diet ever. It would be, chicken, broccoli, fish, steak, vegetables in general, like, all that stuff. If he was to eat, I guess, sugar to an extent, I think it would only be, like, healthy sugars, like fruits, so bananas, apples, etc. No alcohol, no, candy or bad foods or anything like that. So, yeah, I think that's how Batman would exercise. So, here we go. I'm going to officially do this. And also, I want to say, I'm actually going to give you guys, like, little inputs I find here and there, just doing it for the day, to my reaction to doing this. And just kind of, like, throughout it, maybe at the end, kind of give my thoughts, how my body reacted to this whole thing, because, I'm actually really interested. It'll be a lot of fun, but a lot of hard work as well. Alright. Stay tuned. It'll be coming up very soon. Hello everyone, I have literally just woken up, and for the Batman workouts, I feel like this is how it would start. Like, the second I would wake up, I would have to start doing it, so here we go. So as an example of one of the exercises, that I would do. So squat, and then kick as you come up. Squat, kick, squat, or knee. Better angle for everyone. Squat, squat, kick, that would be an example as like a first little exercise just to start off the day, and then just keep going. But they'll be more intense just as an example of one of the exercises I would do. Squat, squat, kick, squat. During the workout, I'm gonna say that I actually put on the Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard, Batman Begins score, and that actually helped me a lot to be in the mood of the character, specifically during the workout, and to kind of be more in the sense of things, you know, like to drive myself more, to motivate myself more, to eat a lot more healthy and to exercise harder. Because, you know, this is what Batman would do, kind of stuff. I've noticed that actually while listening to the soundtrack a lot more. Alright, so for ab roller, here's how you're going to do it. So, just going to go a little further back, so you're going to be able to do the full exercise. And as you come back up, kick back. Down, up, kick back. I'll do this from behind as well so you guys can see. So. Kick back. The same principle applies for not just the ab rollers, but for any body weight exercise, which is to have unlimited amount of rounds and unlimited amount of reps, specifically 2 reps till failure. So 2 rounds or 2 sets of ab roller, and not counting reps because sets are what matter most. For push-up bars. Okay, so you do the push-up. You thrust your knee forward. That's one way of doing it. As you're going to knee someone. Twist your body and bring your knee up again. That's another way to do it. That's one example for ab rollers and push-up bars. And again, body weight rules is always the same. Unlimited amount of rounds and always reps until failure. See you all on the next exercise. As for a bodyweight exercise that would be decent to do for the back, would be to kind of hold your arms to the center like this, and then go like this. Basically, it's like stretching out, and try to keep arms straight and back straight, and just like this. And similar to the other bodyweight exercises, a limited amount of sets and reps till failure. And then I will get to the next, which is resistance band exercises.
One thing I want to mention as well is being, besides watching the Batman Begins, or listening to the Batman Begins soundtrack, I feel like watching the behind the scenes on YouTube of how the film was made actually motivated me a lot to do better in exercise and diet as well. Because it helped with, like, being in the mindset of Batman, and workout and diet and stuff to get as big as I can so that I can look the part as best I can. Hey everyone, so besides listening to the Batman Begins soundtrack, I thought it would be fitting to not necessarily play the game because I have to focus on exercise and eating, but to watch a walkthrough of Batman Begins, the video game, on YouTube, so that way I can, like, again, be in the mood of Batman Begins and get more of that in my head. So yeah, it's another thing I thought I would do, and it actually helped me work out harder and eat better for this character, just like the soundtrack did, surprisingly. Next, I'm going to do a bunch of different workouts with a resistance band, and I'll do this differently. Instead of doing like I did with body weights, which is unlimited amount of rounds and reps till failure, I'll actually do the opposite. Instead of doing rounds, I'll do a total amount of reps. So not just like 20 or 30 total, and will also be full body, but I mean it more in the sense of like, for example, let's say I decide to do 2,000 reps total of resistance bands workout movements. Let's say, for example. First exercise I will do is I will pull back on resistance band like this to exercise the back, the upper parts more specifically. You can either do it one hand or two hand. I'm using one hand right now because I'm holding the phone with the other. And then just obviously alternate between hands. Next, I'm going to do a form of a shoulder press with resistance band. So just hold, so have the resistance band under your legs, like this, so that you can kind of have something like it's tight on, so maybe you feel more of a resistance, more of a pull, and then just push up like that, and as high as you can, and then again do it either with two hands or one, and if you do it with one, just alternate. Next exercise for resistance hip bands, just pull these up like this. Upright rows. And also front raises. You can do it with your arm, with your hand straight, or you can do it with your hand twisted at an angle. Up to you. I'm rewatching a complete playthrough of Arkham Origins as well, because in the title it's the origin of everything of Batman and Joker and everything, so it feels fitting to kind of watch that while exercising to get me more in the mood, like I said, just like with the Batman Begins game and all the other stuff that I researched about Batman Begins, like the soundtrack and behind the scenes and so on. Alright, 1 minute exercises, the resistance band through back, go stretch out, and then keep doing that. Barbell that you can actually change the weights and also disattach the two ends to make them into dumbbells, and this is what I'm going to use for the weightlifting part. And more specifically, what I want to mention is, before I start with this, the reason it looks like this, it has a bunch of like wrist sandbags strapped onto it, is that I can have a heavier weight on the barbell, because the barbell itself goes to maximum around 30 pounds. So in total, so I have 4 sandbags worth 2.5, and then so that's 10 pounds, and then I have the 2 more sandbags in the very center that you see there, and those are 7 pounds each, so 14. So 24 pounds with 30 pounds, that's 54 pounds. But it's more or less 54, 55, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more, because it, I don't know what the exact weight of this thing is. It's 30 pounds total, but including the bar and everything else, it could be around 60 pounds, but no more than 60. Alright, so here we go. Next exercise for resistance hip bands, just pull these up like this. Upright rows. Okay, so calf raises. But after you do a calf raise, kick forward.
Yeah, also I'm gonna. So same thing with bent over rows. Do it to here. If you want to go even more, bend over a little bit and go up. Right, for legs, same thing with like the body weight exercise. Obviously, just put the bar over your head and squat. Yep. Squat. Knee up or squat. Front kick. Squat. So full body workout on every single form of exercise that you do. Okay, so one thing is, I feel like there should be some stretching done, whether it's before, whether it's after. Just do some kind of warm-up stretches to kind of, get your body ready a little bit for the workout. So there's no specific stretches I'm going to say, but I'll show you some of the ones that I do. And this one, don't base it off of, as you do the stretch, base it off time. I do 5-10 minutes, and then, and then that's it. So. For example, some of the stretches I'll do, but again, don't base this off reps or sets or anything, just base it off time, so go like 5-10 minutes of stretching, and then, yeah. Another thing is, of course, because it's Batman, he's a martial arts master, some kind of fight training. Unfortunately, I don't have any punching bags at my house. If I did, I would do it more, obviously, but just mainly shadow boxing, so punches, elbows, uppercuts, kicks, everything fight training related, and do shadow boxing. And if you have a punching bag, even great. If you have different kinds of punching bags, or even fight training like equipment, use that to shadow box as much as possible. And again, maybe do it off reps to an extent, sure, like count how many punches you've done or how many elbow strikes or whatever, but don't basically do it with sets, and don't pace it with time either. Just do this as much as you possibly can. Try to do a bit of meditation to help relax the mind and kind of just calm yourself down for a little bit, or if you want to take a bit of a break from exercise, do this in between workouts. Like if you want to do like an hour cardio, take a break, do like 5-10 minutes of this, and then keep doing a bit of weightlifting, and then some body weights or whatever after that. Use meditation to relax the body a little bit and to relax your mind, to let it go a bit of the stress, and then keep going. And again, don't the shadow boxing stuff. Don't base it off reps, base it off time. So maybe do each 5-10 minutes, or maybe even not, even if it's 2-3 minutes, do it, and then, because you do it like 3-4 times throughout the day, it adds up, right? So yeah, that's something else I feel like needs to be added to the Batman workout. Shadow boxing, so punches, elbows, uppercuts, kicks, everything.
Alright everyone, so in terms of diet, I have, you've seen on the video, I have drank 1 cup of almond milk with cocoa powder that has no sugar, 3 bananas, and I have officially eaten 2 apples, and I'm already starting to feel full. It's not a lot of calories total. Should be something around, I don't know, maybe like no more than like 700-800 calories, something like that. I haven't done the math exactly, but oh boy, I can already feel it, which is surprising. I didn't think I'd feel it this fast, but I'm already feeling it. Alright everyone, these peppers are incredibly spicy. I still gotta eat them, because I gotta build that mass, but oh boy, my mouth is on fire.
Cup with cocoa, but I want to say something. This is not with milk. I actually did this with water. It was cocoa powder with water. So yeah, I just have another one because I was feeling thirsty and I didn't want to cheat by drinking pop or juice. So yeah, I just added cocoa powder with water. It is officially over. I am done with the Batman style workout slash diet. I wanted to do a bit of reflection to kind of like look back on like the day and kind of how it would be like if I did this for a while. The workouts and stuff, that's fun. Also, I want to say the workouts and the diets, it's not concrete. So these foods that I ate today, or these workouts, these exercises that I did today, these are not concrete. Or absolutely, I wouldn't do the exact same exercise every day, and I wouldn't eat the exact same foods every day. I would just eat these foods for one day, and then for another day, if I was to film a second day and a third day and a fourth day, I would do something else. I'll say this, a reflection about myself in terms of exercise and diet and stuff, I realized this has actually helped me be even more on top of things, because I realized having someone, or people, I should say, not someone, having multiple people look in a way and make me feel the sense of pressure, I'm not trying to make this sound bad, I mean this in a good way, I promise, is actually helping me. It's actually pushing me to do better, and it's actually pushing me to be more on top of with diet and to be more on top of with exercise. Looking back, I actually had a lot of fun with this one. The only thing that I did not enjoy as much as I thought I would be dieting. Did not like it that much, the dieting part. It's not that I had to avoid sugar or anything like that, or I had to avoid all bad foods. That was not the problem. The problem was just that, like, no cutoff point of the food, trying to force myself to eat as much as possible and exercise as much as possible. Because I realized, a while back about myself that, I enjoy exercising, and lifting heavy weights doesn't really take its toll on me as much as I thought it would. Even if I lift something insane like a 110-pound barbell or something, or like 200 plus on a bench or something, or deadlifts or whatever, it actually doesn't affect me as much as I thought it would. The physical exercise, I enjoy pushing myself, I enjoy seeing what I can do physically, but in terms of the workout itself, and it's fun, but the diet is not, and forcing yourself to constantly, I showed you guys all the foods and everything that I ate. Man, oh man, I didn't, how much I ate, but I still feel full. I haven't eaten in like 4 or 5 hours. I still feel incredibly full. I still feel like I just finished eating. I actually even feel heavy, to be honest. Even though I didn't feel like I really ate that much, I actually still felt heavy. I still felt like I was harder for things today. Even like basic things like walking up and down the stairs, that actually felt kind of difficult because I felt heavy. And I realized something, by the way, about myself personally as like someone who wants to be an actor and such. And I realized, like, because I always was a fan of Macbeth and a fan of Othello and a fan of certain Shakespeare plays that, I always wanted to do my own version of them. And certain comic book characters, like a more obvious one, like I'm doing for this video, Batman. I just thought to myself, why is acting the best way I feel like I can play this part? Like, because I had friends even ask me, like, hey, if you love Batman so much, why don't you make your own Batman movie one day? Or your own version of Macbeth, or your own version of Hamlet, or whatever. And I realized, this is the case with, I think, every single role I will do here, on this channel, and when I do this later on, as I do this later on in life, where I do this thing of promoting the film and doing workouts and stuff, I realized that certain roles or certain pieces of art, if I was to adapt them, the best part or the job that I can do is the acting part. It's not the direction, it's not the writing, it's not the producing or anything like that. It's acting, because I feel like I could actually bring something new and unique to the part that has probably never been seen yet, or in a way that could be more interesting for an audience to see. Oh, and by the way, I am incredibly tired right now. I'm actually having a hard time keeping my eyes open because I feel like this really took it out of me. The workouts and the food, I feel exhausted. It took it out on me. But those are the best way I can do. Like, if I was offered to make a Batman movie, let's say, I would turn it down, but I would definitely say to play the Batman role if they needed me for something. And that is because I felt like if I did this role, I could be something new and unique to it, but also, I want to say that I also feel like there is some semblance of, I wouldn't be right for the job if I was to direct or write. Because it doesn't feel like the kind of movie I would make. I would feel like if I was a director or writer or producer on it, someone hired me to. Do you know what I mean? If someone hired me to make a Batman movie. Someone hired me to do a version of Macbeth, whether it's a movie or a play or whatever. Instead of actually feeling like I actually wanted to, actually wanted to make one, I would feel like I was a hired gun. So, yeah, that's why I would say no. And that's why I realized this is the best. So the next workout I'm going to do is the Macbeth one. I just wanted to, again, redo this video. And the original is still up if you guys want to watch that one too. But I'm just going to redo I just wanted to redo this because I feel like actually showing you the workouts and actually showing you the work exercise and stuff that I did is a lot better than just actually saying certain stuff that I will do. Alright, see you all next time.